Okay, so I wanted to give you a quick tutorial here with the Semester 1 portfolio information. I'm not going to read every single word to you. I'll address any specific questions you have in class, but I thought this would at least give you an introduction to it. All right, so it's due Wednesday, January 27th. That's 2 weeks from this coming Wednesday. Any portfolios handed in after the beginning of class on your due date will lose half credit. So the portfolio itself and its contents are worth 60 points, and a piece that I'll talk about shortly for Section 4 will be worth 40. You're going to arrange this chronologically, so if you've already started your notebook, your portfolio, you already have your first quarter writings. Now we're going to go with the second quarter writings. Moving along. Section 1, you did some questions first quarter. Some of you were more expansive than others. In this case, you have several more questions to do, and you want to express these in paragraph form. Include the questions. You can actually copy and paste this part of the handout onto a new Word document and type your responses. Think, reflect, and write in a mature style. Include question with response, and be expansive and fluent. This is a chance for you to reflect back on the first semester of this course. Okay, so you have some questions here. The first one deals with, are you noticing anything about yourself changing as a student in English class setting or in other classes? The second question, B, just actually talks about the purpose of writing and with regards to the world of a teenager. C would be describe as articulately as possible how it feels to do multiple revisions of a single piece of work. What are your own thoughts on eliminating the need for revising papers during the second semester? Sometimes students don't want to do any more revision, so I'm always interested in what your own individual thoughts are. E focuses on what makes a good piece of writing other than perhaps time and effort. F, some of the things we've done this quarter has been focusing on an author's use of language and conveying theme. Discuss the value or lack of value in spending time with this aspect of literature. G basically asked you, what does it mean to think in a public school setting? And H, look back at your goals from first quarter, your portfolio responses, and then what are your goals for the rest of the year in this class? Okay. If we look at Section 2 and 3, one of the things we can do is kind of move now to the last page of the portfolio, and we have our checklist. The day you come in with your portfolio, we'll go through the checklist of your first and second semester. So this is everything that I believe we've done. If you find anything that is not here or something that you think the class has not done, please let me know prior to the due date. Again, if you're absent or lost the piece, insert a piece of paper with the assignment's title in the proper place of Section 2. Now in Section 3, we're going to have 3 pieces of writing. These are the pieces that have multiple drafts, and for our first semester we have our turning point composition, our injustice reflective essay, and then we'll have the Frankenstein time writing. I'll talk about Section 4 in a moment, and then in Section 5 you should have 40 quotes. Again, hopefully these have been recorded from listening to other people rather than just downloading quotes from quotes.com or some other website. Okay, we'll go back here now to this part of the portfolio. This is I think your second page. Now with Section 4, so we have 60 points for having all those contents on the checklist, as well as expansive answers to Section 1. Now, Section 4 is the place where you can earn up to 40 points. So here you're going to choose one individually written prose piece to be evaluated, and what this means is you're going to take any piece, whether it was an A, B, C, whatever grade you want to use, but you need to revise it at least once. Okay, even if you had an A on a paper or on a response or a dialogue journal, whatever it might be, you need to revise it at least once. Keep in mind it's 40 points. So, for example, if you chose a Ning log that was 4 or 5 sentences, is something of that length going to be worth a possible 40 points? Okay. If you have questions about which piece that you want to work on, please let me know. Okay. So you're going to revise it at least once. And here is something about Be aware of a previous piece's grade. Do not choose the writer's palette. That's something for first quarter. The reason for that is that many of those words were chosen from a published work. Okay, so you're going to revise it. You'll have a clean copy of the new piece. You're going to place all drafts in chronological order, so you have your paper done already. Now you're going to add on top of previous paper a highlighted reversion or a track change reversion along with a clean copy. Then as your cover sheet, rather than answering questions, you're going to write the story of your piece. Now, this sample that I've included was written about a short story called Eveline, and this is one of the best that I've ever received. What this student has done is look very, very closely at each line, at each specific change that she's done. This is the ideal as to what you'd like to do with the story of my piece, rather than just saying, in my current, from revision, I changed some words, I added a new claim, I added some more evidence. So you want to be as specific as possible. And this one was really one of the best I've ever seen. Okay, section 5 is your 40 type quotes. Please include the speaker if known. And then one of the goals with the portfolio is it's going to be in a separate notebook, and you want it to be easy to follow, clearly organized, a very nice presentation. So I'll show you some samples of what it can look like in class. You're going to have 5 sections to it. Okay. If you've written something in class, by the way, that was handwritten, you do not necessarily need to retype it. That's certainly up to you. Okay, easy to open 3-ring binder. I would suggest you not choose an old binder that's been sitting under your bed or in your closet for a while that's all beat up. This portfolio notebook is going to be something that not only hopefully you'll keep, but during second semester, before that's due, your parents will specifically see things. Okay? So you want to have a nice presentation, not only for them, but for me also. Okay, so here's your grading criteria. Keep in mind, if you go back to the introduction to the portfolio from first semester, one of the things that I asked or stated there is, if you're trying for an A on the portfolio, you need to have at least conference 1 time during the semester. So it's going to be graded by high, middle, low order concerns. This is very similar to the Turning Point rubric. If you don't have anything, again, this suggests the blank piece of paper. Okay. If you're going for an A portfolio, if I've asked any questions on any of your responses, for example, the dialogue journal, anything of that sort, please answer those. Here's your rubric. Again, keep in mind that even though some of these things have already been graded, with section 2, for example, if it looks like you're writing 1 sentence to a free write, then certainly that does not reflect engagement. So we want to see that if you're going for an A. Moving along, B, C, so forth. Again, this should be an assignment to boost your grade rather than to cause your grade to plummet. Those of you who are organizationally challenged, you might want to start putting things together now rather than waiting the weekend before, because it will create stress that you do not need. All right, and here's your checklist again. Okay, so I will show you in class what a portfolio looks like, give you some ideas in terms of how to organize it. So hopefully this will be helpful to you. Okay, if you have specific questions, let me know, but let's wait till after I talk a little bit about this in class on Monday.